This is TWiT.
This week, Austin, we are relying on Austin. Do you happen to have a tip or a suggestion, maybe a tutorial or a technique? Anything that starts with a T, really?
If you say just do it, I'm out of here.
Just do it. Yeah, no. Actually, I do. I actually do have a good tip, or at least I hope it's a good tip.
Cool.
So lately, I've actually been in the middle of changing my name on YouTube, and it's been a giant pain. It's been a huge hassle because not only have I tried to change it on YouTube and Google+, but it's Twitter, Facebook. It's a huge deal. So one of the biggest things I would like to recommend, especially if you are a newer YouTuber, own your brand. Make sure, first of all, make sure that you pick a decent name. It's so much easier to pick a good name and stick with it.
What was your name before? I don't remember. What was his name?
It was Duncan 33303.
Triple 303?
Yeah,
a
something
zip
like
code
that.
after your name.
Was that a real zip code?
Actually, I think it's somewhere in Florida. Actually, I looked it up once. Yeah, but take it from somebody who has dealt with that name for a lot of time.
I dealt with it with my name, so I know.
I didn't ditch a whole channel. I was Crazy Dudo 7, spelled with a K and 2 Z's.
I think you might have me beat there.
Yeah. No, that channel is burnt in the dust. It is gone.
Well,
yeah.
Well, I can definitely say it really pays to pick a good name early, and almost more important than that, make sure you own that name everywhere you can. So whenever some new, Twitter, Google+, something new comes out, make sure you register it. But on top of that, if you ever do want to change, keep in mind that it's going to be a massive hassle. YouTube makes it actually pretty simple. So the way I was able to do it was I just went over onto Google+. I linked my Google+ page with YouTube. Google+ makes it super easy. You can just literally change your name in half a second. That's actually going to allow you to change your name on YouTube. Unfortunately, though, for the URL, you're just always going to be stuck with whatever your original channel was. But you can sometimes get another URL. So now it's youtube.com/Austin Evans will direct to my channel. So that works just fine. But when you get into trying to get a name over on Twitter and especially on Facebook, it is almost like you need to start from scratch. So if I have one bit of advice, especially if you guys are starting out soon or starting out, from afresh, make sure that you have a good name to start with. And make sure you own it everywhere, because if you ever need to change it, it is going to be a massive nightmare. And not only that, but you're going to lose all that brand recognition of people hey, you're that Duncan guy. Now I'm that Austin guy. And people are like, who is this? I mean, it sucks. So definitely try to own your brand and do your best to never change unless you have to and you have a bunch of threes in your name.
It's weird because at the beginning of your videos, you say, hey guys, this is Austin, but people still think your name is Duncan because of the username. And it was weird when I had Wilson Tech 1 and people always thought my first name was Wilson. I'm like, really? I don't ever know that to be a first name.
People always think my first name's OMG. It's getting really annoying.
No, they don't.
Yeah. No, I can understand the Wilson bit. I mean, Wilson is that's not a super uncommon.
You kind of look like a Wilson.
Okay, and the thing is, make sure you don't put any numbers in your name because that's bad for branding. That's one of the reasons I changed mine. It's look, I need the number. I don't care if it's 1. My 1 at the end just means that I was so petty that someone had Wilson Tech that I put a 1 after it just to show them. And that is exactly what happened. Some school had Wilson Tech. I said, I'll show them. And I put a 1.
It's mine.
I'm number 1. I should have just had my personal name. What an idiot.
Well, I can actually tell you, you're totally right. I was it was at E3 a month ago, whenever that was. And I was actually talking with a guy in a shuttle, and I was, trying to maybe get a little bit of a deal going with him. And, we were hitting it off, and I was telling him all about the channel and everything. He's like, yeah, it sounds great. He's like, so what's your channel? I was like, it's Duncan 33303. The guy literally looked at me for a second and was like, cool. And that was it. It was over right then. Yeah.
Yep. No. Yep. That whatever deal you could have had making millions, you just lost it. So
yeah, exactly.
At that point you would go, head on over to austinevans.com. Seriously, and then link from there. That'd be good.
Yeah, it's rough. So pick a good name, stick with it. You will be very, very happy that you did.